this video, we're going to go over something that's not very fun to talk about, and that is defining and reporting abuse in regards to keeping our kids safe. We're going to start by reading what the law says about abuse. And it says, abuse and neglect is defined as harm or threatened harm by a person responsible for a child's health and well-being. Harm or threatened harm can occur through non-accidental physical or mental injury, sexual exploitation, negligent treatment, or maltreatment, including the failure to provide adequate food, clothing, shelter, or medical care. The law says that the Department of Human Services is required by law to investigate reports of child abuse of children under the age of 18. Who is responsible for reporting this? Well, every person is in the state of Oklahoma. Every person, private citizen or professional who has reason to believe that a child is being neglected is required by law to report it. However, since you serve under the umbrella of Creekside Kids, I ask that you come loop me in on that you notify me right away anytime you ever see something that concerns you or doesn't sit right in your spirit. If there's ever a day where something like this happens, where you notice something that you're concerned about, I want you to come find me or text me immediately so that I know that you need my assistance. I will try my best to enter the room in a calm presence to get an assessment of what's going on. If it's an older child, maybe pull that child out in a non-confrontational way so that we can assess the situation. We will also document the situation. I would ask that you follow up by sending me an email with all the details of what you witnessed so that we can file that away in case we ever need it. There's 4 different types of abuse, and that is non-accidental physical injury, neglect, sexual abuse, and emotional abuse. And I have a chart below that you can find, and you can read more about the signs and symptoms of those types of abuse. Again, if you ever notice anything, we want to say something. So again, please notify me in on that. I would be happy to report it for you. And I say that because a lot of times when we have to make these calls to report things that we're concerned about, we have to have information that you may not have. And that looks like parents' names, phone numbers, dates of birth, information that you are not going to have as a volunteer who serves once a week. And so we ask that you let us to be the one to make those calls. If I ever promise to you that I'm going to make a call, you have my full permission to follow up with me and make sure that I get it done. If for some reason, if there's ever another leader in our area that you're concerned about, you need to come notify me immediately. If for some reason I'm the one that you're concerned about, you have my permission to go over my head and to let my bosses know so that we can keep our kids safe. We want to make sure that if we're ever concerned about anything, that we report it in a timely manner, that we treat this confidentially, and that is very important. I know sometimes on Sunday mornings when things happen in our kids' ministry, we want to debrief with the other leaders about what's happened, but we want to make sure that we're speaking of our kids and our families well. And so if there is ever anything that you're concerned about, I ask that we don't talk about it in front of other children or other leaders or other parents. Having said that, if there's anything that you ever need to talk through, my office door is always open, and I'd be happy to meet with you in an appropriate private setting so that we don't talk about these very sensitive topics in front of other people. We want to make sure that we handle these situations the best we can. Go ahead and answer the questions below, and we'll move on to the next part of our training.